In my standards, it was terrible. But at the same time, it was brilliant. Not a lot of people will know what goes into a big concert like that. I must say, in my defense, and this is no excuse, in my defense, right, we had the trucks come in to pick up the gear 2.5 hours late. After that, we had a blowout on the electrical system, which happened 3 times in a row, which the electrical department kept disappearing. So, in actual fact, we were a minimum of 4 hours behind before anything happened. When it came to the crunch, the technician didn't put on an extra 4,000 watts. 4,000 watts was not on because of the time limit, because of all the cock-ups. And the sound check was done because I went up to the first band and I said, start playing, we're doing the sound check. And that is no excuses, but that is what happened on the day. Apart from that, the bands that came on were excellent. There was a lot of energy, there was a lot of power, and there was a lot of fun, unlike other years. The club might bid for the 2010 concert. 2 reasons behind that bid would be, one is to give the people a good gig, and the other one would be redemption. Learn from your mistakes and show everybody in Jib and elsewhere that the club can actually do it. What would I change? Well, there's so many things I would change. First of all, the company that provided the transport, for sure, because they were crap. Secondly, that I cannot sing in the concert as well as organizing it. It's just far too much headache. Thirdly, get in contact with the authorities or the electrical department to get the act together. Because just because it's local people doing it doesn't mean you have to put less input into it. Let's not get into politics here. But whenever somebody from outside of Jib comes here and does something, we put our asses on the line. But whenever somebody local tries to do something, it's all kind of bloody relaxed. And it's not right, because there's a lot of talent in Jib, musically and technically. And all we need is the chance to develop it and show it without the bullshit. When it comes to the sound, all I can say is that the person in charge that day, who's an immense person, an excellent choice for the sound, he was also playing in 2 bands that night. That's something that we have to correct. The person in charge of the sound doesn't have to be playing. People don't understand those things, and they don't have to understand those things. It's not for them to have that behind their backs. You know, they don't care. And I understand, they don't care that the person who's doing the sound is actually playing in two bands, who's actually playing in the band that won on the night of Battle of the Bands. May I add that also on that particular National Day we did 3 things in a row, which was the usual National Day concert, you know, providing people with cover bands, blah blah blah, etc. We had the final of the Battle of the Bands, and we also had Dancing Girls. That was 3 things in one, which have never been done before. Mind you, too much, which we learn from our mistakes. That will be open to debate. I understand quite clearly that having a company come over and do the sound, letting loose Rock and Roll Club to do the production of the show would be incredible. It was just immensely more relaxing. That is understandable. Open to discussion. To answer that question, I've got to divide it into 2. I could say that on stage I've been mostly impressed by Return of the Punk Zombies, because of they were really tight, they had a really bloody good image, good musicians, good songs, but at the same time I've got to say that I was also impressed by a band called Side Effect, because they were only like kids and they were doing stuff that grown-ups will do. I must say Echo Vault. I think it must be the second performance where Echo Vault is a band where, apart from the live music, they use computers to enhance the music. And this particular night the computers were down, and I insisted they do well playing without it. And after a little bit of a debate, they listened to what I was saying and they played the night, and they were awesome. That is the night I was most impressed by a Spanish band. I really don't have to think about that. Really don't have to think about that. Definitely the most worst band that has ever played in a club is a Spanish band, and I'm not pretty sure the name, but it goes something like "Corre que me estoy cagando, let's run because I'm having a crap."